In this video, we're reviewing One Piece chapter 983, so there will be a lot of spoilers. Make sure you've read it before you watch this video. But anyway, let's get right to it. We start the chapter off with a scene from the waterfall, and a shot of Onigashima as well. Perospero was riding his candy, and was going to Onigashima alone. Not so surprisingly, he still holds a grudge against Luffy, Marco, and King. Plus, he makes the remark that he's still against the alliance with Kaido. And he swears that Big Mom's crew will come out on top. I really like this about Perospero because he has a one-track mind. He's kinda like Luffy, but not funny at all. But this scene really makes you wonder what happened to the rest of Big Mom's crew. I really was surprised to see this because when Marco hit Big Mom's ship, he said in the translation I've read that when Big Mom's crew gets back on top of the waterfall, their ages will be different. I thought this was some type of effect from his technique called the Phoenix Mark. And I'm really curious to know more about this. And I have a few theories about what happened to Perospero and why he's alone going to Onigashima, which I'll be talking about on the next video. So, don't miss it. But anyway, then we see that the Brachio tank was running. This is a weird panel right here. It actually took me a while to recognize what was happening. And then Usopp and Chopper explain that Big Mom took one shot at the Brachio tank, and then she went off chasing Nami and the others. They were just recapping what happened, and awesomely enough, we find out that it wasn't just some reflex from Usopp to just reverse the tank because he saw Big Mom. It seems he was intentional about it so he could buy time for the others. I know that this was crucial for the whole team, but right now, it's a big mess in Onigashima simply because both the southern and the eastern forces are doing a pincer movement, and in a few moments, they would have Kaido and Orochi in front and then Big Mom at the back. Moving along though, Usopp and Chopper were relieved that even though Big Mom was going to chase after Nami and the others, they knew that Sanji was with them. But it's kind of funny because they know Sanji too well. And both of them were worried because of the fact that Sanji was near a brothel. Then Carrot recalls Sanji saying he won't be giving up on the prostitutes. This is why I love Sanji, and he's one of my favorite characters. It's basically because he's the second funniest character, only next to Luffy. But anyway, we see here that Nami, Shinobu, and Carrot were running away from a behaved-looking Prometheus. It makes me think about what happened that they managed to tame him too. It's possible that it was because of Big Mom's Weaver card, but I'm not too sure about that. In any case, Big Mom was casually walking along and giving souls to the objects near her. It seems like she's building her own homie army here, and it reminds me of those old school thriller movies where the killer is chasing the main characters and he takes his sweet time before he actually does anything. Moving forward, we see Momonosuke crucified already. I really thought it would take them more time just to set up the whole thing, but it was already done, and we see that Orochi was already making the announcement that Momonosuke is the son of Odin and that he was still alive. So I am totally expecting the clash to happen real soon. The southern and eastern squads should be making a scene in a very short while, and maybe Nami, Carrot, and Shinobu do end up saving Momonosuke after all. We see Zoro again, and I'm actually surprised that he hasn't gotten lost yet, but he was in the middle of a lot of fights with a lot of smile users. I'm a bit concerned though, because I see Zoro is a bit fatigued from all the fighting he's doing, and it's not even one of the top officers of Kaido's crew. And he was being convinced by these gifters to join Kaido's crew instead of pursuing their dreams of being the Pirate King or becoming the greatest swordsman or whatnot. And as I was reading that, I was already expecting Zoro to say some badass lines while he was slashing everybody up. But we cut right to Kid and Killer. Killer really does seem to be more strategic with his approaches, and Kid is more like Luffy or Leroy Jenkins. While everyone was getting distracted by someone announcing that Kaido needs to look for somebody, Kid seizes the moment and says that dropping your guard means you get to drop dead. And then he unleashes an easy beatdown of these gifters. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Kid has really been killing these lines. He has been consistently dropping some heat and some very lit lines. He's so badass. I'm amazed at how cool he is. He's so similar to Luffy and Zoro. I just love his character. And finally, we see Ulti in page 1. I really like Ulti because of her character. And she starts off with her nonsense again, blaming Luffy for the damage page 1 took. And then Luffy introduces himself as the person that will become the Pirate King. And it really struck Ulti's nerves. And they go right at each other with a headbutt. It really shows Ulti's competitiveness. And I wasn't expecting Ulti's headbutt to be so strong that it blew a hole in the middle of the floor. And it blew Luffy and some other fodder away too. I'm just so amazed to see that Ulti had Conqueror's Haki. But really it shouldn't be surprising, right? She has the balls to talk to Kaido in that way. And Kaido has a lot of Conqueror's Haki users in his crew, so we should have expected her to have it. But when I read it, it was just a badass moment again for Ulti. I really love this scene. And as if that wasn't enough, we finally see her Devil Fruit power. And she is, in fact, a Pachycephalosaurus. These dinosaurs are known for their super thick skull, and this explains why Ulti's headbutts are so strong. It's really cool to see how respectful Ulti is of Luffy, and she instantly transformed after just one clash, because she knew that Luffy was the real deal. Luffy says he underestimated her, and decides to get himself together because he's facing a Yonko's crew. Looking back after the time skip, this has been what? The second time that Luffy realized this? It makes me think that Luffy is still too carefree, and he might become more mature after this arc. And that's a big maybe, because Luffy loves to have fun. But anyway, he grabs Ulti by the horns and slams her to the ground. Page 1 was making a counter-attack, and then Luffy dodges it and smacks Page 1 with his elephant gun. Ulti gets right back up and had Luffy pinned. Luffy, realizing how strong Ulti is, was already committed to using Gear 4th. And when I was reading this, I thought to myself, whoa. It's too early. Are we really going to see one of those fights where Luffy needs to have a break again? And I was relieved and confused at the same time, because I saw that somebody knocked Ulti off her feet, and that somebody used Thunder Bagua. So it was really weird for me. I thought it was only Kaido who could use this move. So it took me a while to realize what had happened, and we formally get introduced to Yamato. He introduces himself to Luffy and explains that he was waiting for them all this time. But I'm really curious to see just how strong Yamato is after doing that. He wrecked Ulti so bad and he ran away with Luffy. And this officially ends the chapter 983. Overall, this was a fun chapter. And this chapter suggests that we're back on the fast track again, with the pacing and stuff. But I'm still very much disappointed with the chapter, just because of this one little detail. This one right here. Yes, guys. One Piece is on break again next week. Anyway, this ends today's video. Please do leave a like and comment down below if you think Yamato is the reincarnation of Oden. And smash the subscribe button, because on the next video, we'll be making a fun little prediction video for the chapter 984. So, don't miss it. Stay safe. Peace!